children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Welcome to Final Guys, the foxiest horror podcast in the entire world. I'm Jack. I got my boys here. Jason, Hunter. What's up, fellas?
When is Megan Fox showing up and who gets her first? Because I saw the tweet that we have a date with her.
Yeah.
So
date with her movie. God, you're so sexist.
Oh, because I'd say I'd go third. I don't care. You know, it's just Megan Fox. I don't care. And bring me closer to you both.
Starting this off right. Okay.
Eskimo brothers.
Why? We'd just be holding her hand. Machine Gun Kelly would kill us if we dated her.
So would David Silver from 90210.
Oh, yeah. That's the ex, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? You would know.
Shoot. I'm spacing on his name.
Yeah, whatever. That guy, the guy who lost the hottie of the century.
Anyway, I guess you can guess from our banter that our main feature tonight is Till Death with Megan Fox. So we'll see if she can recapture the magic of Jennifer's body, or who cares because her body is in it. So
Jack captured the magic of his own body.
What's the name of the band in Jennifer's body?
That's a really good question. I have no idea.
Somebody in the chat.
Seen that since it came out.
Somebody in the chat, could you effort that for us? Name of the band in Jennifer's body.
Effort that for us. I like that. Where's our gal Friday when we need her?
Well, the other thing you may have noticed is that we're down a man again. We don't know where Tim is, but he's not here. So if anybody
contract negotiations have stalled.
Yep.
Put him on a milk bottle or milk carton.
We might have to franchise tag him.
Yeah, I think we could DFA him next week. So we'll see how it goes.
We're traveling light today. And
designated for assignment. It's baseball. They just cut you free.
Hey, we got some room under the cap now to work with.
That's right. So we'll be doing what do they do? Auditions next week. So just be ready. We'll just randomly call on people, send them the link, and they'll come on for 5 minutes, and we'll kind of do like a round robin.
You're on. What'd you think of Blair Witch 2? You're fired.
I thought this was Shockwave's podcast.
Okay. Drinking words. What do we got?
I got him. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, when Jack, you say Barefoot, Scares, and Megan, I hope Sharon was listening because we're up to at least a couple of drinks, right? My words are cheating, handcuffs, and care. Care? I don't care. Scares, I care. I get it.
That was like last week's show.
Well, whatever. White Rain, we're not going to include them. Jason, yours are Safe, Necklace, and Eye. And bonus words, Scares, Box, and Body. Yeah, we've done like at least 15 drinks so far, I think.
Yeah. We should maybe do the drinking words. What were we talking about for 225? American Werewolf in Paris?
Yeah.
Werewolf in Paris?
Yeah, you did it.
Did I say wolf?
You didn't think about it and it came out.
Damn. Wow, that sounded like you purposely dropped that.
No, that was just me not thinking.
That was it. Country.
Well, look, if Aquanet, deserts us, we're not doing any American Werewolf in Paris.
Yeah,
however,
that's true.
If he comes back home, I'll welcome him with open arms and watch that stupid movie.
If he comes back home, come back home, please.
I'll come back home and then I'll clothesline him.
All right. Kick it over to yourself.
All right, Jack, what do you got for the news? Well, Jack, just a couple of things. Remember how we were all hoping that maybe Christina Ricci would be cast as Morticia Addams in this new live-action Wednesday Addams Netflix thing?
Yes.
Well, that's not going to happen. But we do have Gomez and Morticia have been cast. Luis Guzman and Catherine Zeta-Jones have been cast. So Luis Guzman, if you watch Community, you know that there's a statue of him at the Community at Greendale.
That's true. And Catherine Zeta-Jones. I mean,
I haven't seen her in a long time.
wasn't her last movie Entrapment with Sean Connery? Really, what's the last thing she did?
The Haunting remake.
Oh,
don't bring that up, dude. That might be 250.
I'm actually looking forward to just seeing her. Like I haven't seen her in like 10 years. So
I think that both of them are older than the woman who played the grandmother on the original. They're definitely older than Uncle Fester. But people age better nowadays.
A little bit.
yeah.
All through the magic of cleansing, juicing, and Botox.
Look, Luis Guzman is awesome. He shows up in so much great stuff that I'm happy to see him in a lead role like this.
Yeah, no, I dig him. He's really good.
Yep.
Whatever. I'll watch it with my daughter. She's a big Addams Family fan.
Apparently, it's going to be kind of a murder mystery, supernatural thing at a private school where there's where Wednesday is going. So it's a coming of age. So I think the parents are going to be more side characters. I don't think this is going to be sort of in the house, typical Addams Family. But what do I know?
Now I don't like it. Is this a movie or a series?
Series. But it's only going to be like 6 or 8 episodes, something like that.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
What else? We'll all see the trailer and we'll know.
Yeah, we will make the determination quickly.
All right. The last piece of news is the coolest piece of news. Now, Hunter, I know especially you, not a big fan of the recent Halloween movie that came out.
No.
I thought it was okay. Jason, I think you thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Exactly.
Are you looking forward to the novelization of the sequel, Halloween Kills? Because I am.
It depends who wrote it.
Tim Wagner, our pal, who was on Monster Men, is writing a novelization, and it is now available for pre-order on Amazon.
Okay.
Boom.
Now I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. It's a good writer.
The movie hits October 15th, and the novelization hits on October 19th. But, as I said, you can order it right now before this show's over.
Or, Tim, if you have extra copy lying around, send it to me this time. Make Jack go to the Barnes & Noble and buy it.
I'm just saying, you could
Please.
send it to me, and the Kingmaker will give his blessing. But
It's so surprising to me that they're still doing novelizations. It feels like that was a thing when books were still in grocery stores.
I know,
So
and
I'm glad
Tim
they
does a
still do it.
lot, but that's cool. Where will you find them anymore? I guess you just have to know that it exists.
I think it's probably a thing for the collectors. They just know horror movie, make X amount, and you'll sell X amount, and then the secondary market, they'll mark them up, and in 10 years from now, they're going to be worth twice as much.
Dude, I've been looking for the Friday the 13th novelization, and I find copies, and they're hundreds of dollars. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen.
Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
I
So,
did
yeah.
not know this was even a thing.
Oh, it's a thing. It's a thing, all right.
It's a thing. I had the Clash of the Titans novelization, Batman '89.
I had Clash
All
of the
the Star
Titans
Wars.
novelization, too.
Loved it.
My favorite of all time was Going in Style. Remember that George Burns, Art Carney movie where they robbed a bank?
Oh, wow.
For some reason, I loved that book when I was in 6th grade. Read it over and over.
I had the True Lies novelization. It was really good, but I lent it to a friend and he destroyed it.
Jerk.
Douche.
That's why I only give a book if I'm like, I don't want this back.
After it has your shit stains on it.
Well, after I've pooped with it, I mean, do you really want the book? But if you do, it's all yours.
That book's been flagged. All right, that's all I got. Way to go, Tim. And let's go talk about what we watched this week.
We have such sights to show you.
I just want to bring up Steve Barnard mentioned Alan Dean Foster used to do all those back in the day.
Yeah.
One of the best sci-fi writers ever. And he did a Star Trek novelization. Well, it wasn't of one of the movies, but it was Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
That was Star Trek. That was Star Wars.
Star Wars. That was amazing.
The other guy was Sam Hamm.
Sam Hamm?
Yeah, he did like the Batman.
Get that. I hope that was his real name. Sam Hamm.
It's better than Hunter Shea.
Was his best friend Tony Baloney?
You're 4 years old. Okay.
Pretty much.
What'd you watch this week, Knucklehead?
Me?
Yeah.
Get ready. Because when I mention this title, I want you to burn this in your memory. And I know you've heard this. This is a household name. Your vice is a locked room, and only I have the key.
That's a great title. I can't believe I've never heard of it.
Yeah, what country of origin do you think this is? Jason had guessed it early. You want to see?
Portugal.
Close. This is Italy. This is an Italian giallo movie. It's on Shudder, and the reason why I turned it on because it has Edwidge Fenech. I never know how to say her name. She was kind of like the it girl in Italy in the 1970s. I mean, just drop dead gorgeous. She is like what Megan Fox is now. That was her back then, except
Let me see
she
her
got
filmography
naked
real quick.
and everything. Oh man, I've been kind of going through her movies for a while now.
She's still acting every now and then.
Still going. In her
70s.
70s.
She did a few things in the 70s. Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy how many movies she was cranking out.
Strip Nude for Your Killer. That one, of course.
Yeah. Not a bad one.
Mean Frank and Crazy Tony.
Ooh, Naughty Nun.
Naughty Nun. That's one that you should definitely check out. The Inconsolable Widow. Thanks all those who consoled her. They had really big movie posters back then. So anyway, this movie is not really about her. It's about this guy, Olivero, who's this kind of like, he was a pretty big writer at one time, but he hasn't written for years, and he's descended into alcoholism and hanging out with hippies. And he's got this poor wife, that woman right there, who he just abuses the living shit out of her in front of everybody, loves to humiliate her, smack her around, lock her in rooms. I mean, he's one of the most detestable human beings you're ever going to see. And I kept going, who is this? I've seen him before. He's in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in a small role. Mm. So here he is, just this guy right there. Ugh. Like every time he came on the screen, you wanted to effing just strangle him. And that's kind of the idea. Now there's Edwidge. So she is his or her niece. She's 20 years old. We've established immediately when she gets there that she's just a whore. Like he calls her that, but then she quickly proves that, yes, she's a complete whore. So in the course of this movie, she ends up sleeping with the wife. She ends up sleeping with this dude who like hangs around town and rides motorcycles. She ends up sleeping with the evil bastard writer alcoholic. And like all these good giallo movies, it's everybody fucking everybody, literally and figuratively, and who's going to be the last person standing? Who gets fucked over last? It's strange. You know what I'd say? If you ever trigger over abuse of a woman, maybe don't watch this, because I don't think this movie would ever get made now. I don't think. I know for sure it wouldn't. But I love that whole, and you know it's coming. You say, all right, who's going to get screwed over now? And now this person's going to flip on this person. This person's going to flip. But that's all the fun of it. So it's a pretty good movie. I actually enjoyed it. I found that I've liked giallo movies more than I like Italian horror movies.
For sure.
Thank you, Rebecca Kendry, or whatever her name is.
Why?
PhD?
She has a PhD?
She's never mentioned it before.
She teach at UCLA?
She's
listening now. She's probably like, why are they shitting on me? I don't know these guys.
You're so knowledgeable about horror because you talk about giallo.
Giallo. By the way, I am a fan of giallo. I've come to that conclusion. So it's turned my life around. I've got a whole gaggle of movies to watch I never even knew of. So thanks to Shudder, they're always putting new ones on.
I like gelato.
Nice. I should go back and watch more. It's just, man, I'm not a huge fan of Italian films in general.
Dude, watch anything with Edwidge Fenech. That's all I'm going to tell you. Probably top 5 of best looking women to ever be put on celluloid.
All right.
And she has a
Shutter
Jennifer
is.
Jason Leigh mentality about clothes. What the hell do I need these for?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer Jason Leigh mentality. Oh, God.
All right, Jason, what do you got?
I watched the new classic that I'm sure you guys have heard of. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but it's called Aqua Slash on Amazon.
No.
71-minute runtime, counting credits.
That's beautiful.
It felt kind of long. It felt kind of long.
All right, I'm not watching this.
It's a Friday night. I'm having some beers with the wife. We're like, hey, let's just put on something stupid. Aqua Slash comes up. Perfect. I'll just say, whoever directed this, I'll have to look him up here in a second. He's definitely an ass man because all the women in bikinis in this have giant butts on them. So this high school gets out, they graduate, and apparently every new graduating class rents out this water park, and they just get hammered and bang each other and go down water slides. It's their post-graduation thing.
This looks like porn.
It's not far above it. You don't get that much nudity. There's like one scene where you see a couple bobs in it, but that's about it. And
a couple of bobs.
A couple of bobs.
What are bobs?
Not too many.
Oh, boobs.
Yeah.
They could be
Jesus.
balls. I don't know what you guys say down there in the mountains.
I think that would be up there. Fuck.
I've never heard it called Bob's before.
Oh, it's because I just made it up.
Bob's Big Burger.
This is a bunch of like teen drama. Oh, who's sleeping with who? What's happening? Blah, 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 blah. And it takes damn near an hour till you get to a part where there are blades in one of the slides and it just starts shredding people as they go down. And that scene is glorious. The question is, can you deal with this movie long enough to get to that?
You said it takes an hour. It's 71 minutes long.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Okay. It couldn't have been before 50 minutes because I was just like, what is happening? Like the first 2 minutes should have been somebody going down the slide, like, right. So,
they wanted to build suspense.
This was not one of my favorite movies. I expected to like it more just because I like this zany shit and, having a couple beers on a Friday night, this should be a win, but man, things do not get crazy on this for quite a while. So,
Aqua, no.
I'd probably give this one a pass. It feels like it should be a staple in my house and just one and done for me.
You fell on the grenade for the listening audience. Thank you for your service to this country.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, but if you're an ass man, if you've got a thing about butts, this is your movie.
I mean, there is that. Is it free?
He cast girls who have bellies on them just as long as they have giant asses. Like, he didn't care. So,
all right.
I think it was free.
Well, now I got to find out. You might have found my angle.
I watched it on Amazon. It was either free or like $1 or something like that. It was
right.
Wasn't much.
Well, sounds like it wasn't worth $1.
Not really.
If I got to wait 50 minutes in a 70-minute movie for the good scene, come on.
Yeah, that's really what it was. It was long.
I mean,
nothing to rent. There you go.
Well, I also watched a small independent movie this week called The Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, little no budget thriller.
Yeah,
heard about that.
Little indie gem. All right, so DC movies, not a great track record since the whole Snyderverse. Then they turn their lonely eyes to James Gunn, who we all love, Guardians of the Galaxy and Slither and Dawn of the Dead remake and what's the one in the Office building?
Mayhem? Belko Experiment.
Belko Experiment.
That's it.
And many others. So the good news is Suicide Squad is a blast. It's a really fun movie. It is James Gunn's greatest hits. You could take Guardians of the Galaxy characters and say, okay, that one's Groot, that one's this guy, to some degree.
Right.
However, I don't think I like any of the characters as much in this movie as I do in that, but like the shark is awesome. John Cena, awesome. Idris Elba's great. Margot Robbie, everybody loves her as Harley
Everyone's
Quinn.
saying that's the definitive Harley Quinn movie. Like it's the
Could
best
be.
they've ever presented her.
She's great in it. King Shark is awesome. Sylvester Stallone does his voice. And John Cena, I love John Cena in this movie. He's really funny. He plays
John Cena's really good.
So I don't think it's a perfect movie, but it's definitely like the cream of the crop for DC movies. I have HBO Max. It's on there. If you're into this kind of stuff, this is one of the better superhero movies. The Suicide Squad is called in to go do their suicide mission. There's a lot of people cast in this movie, and not everybody survives. But I think some people, this is going to be their favorite superhero movie to come in a long time. And like me, I enjoyed it. I think it was great. It's not my favorite of all time, but definitely it's like top 1 or 2 of the recent DC movies for me. I'll watch this movie again. There's a lot of fun going on.
Is it rated R?
Yes, and that's part of why it's awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see this actually.
Yeah, I do too. I hated the first movie so much. Like,
yeah.
This scene also is awesome. This is like in name alone. There's a few characters that carry over, so it can be a sequel to this, but they never really talk about the other one, so it's sort of standalone. Idris Elba plays a very similar character to Will Smith, but he's not the same guy.
Okay.
It's so
Will
much
Smith was
funnier.
not good in that role.
I thought he was all right. The other one.
I dislike that movie so much.
But my kid was so excited to see that, and we were away on vacation. It's like, oh, what can be better? Excited over a movie, you're away, and we watch, and she was like, "What was that?" I'm like, "I have no idea. It was a waste of $30."
You will see signature James Gunn moments. You can see there's a part in here where I'm like, oh, that's right out of Slither. Oh, that's Belko. There's some great over-the-top gore stuff in this.
Cool.
So, take a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, a little bit of Deadpool, a little bit of Harley Quinn, mix it in a bowl. James Gunn's greatest hits. It's a lot of fun. I'm happy I watched it.
No, I'm definitely going to see it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm looking forward to it.
All
right, my turn?
Go for it.
I will. All right. My daughter and I were sitting around, had nothing to do. I said, let's watch like the dumbest horror movie we can find. So we start going through Shudder. And the whole thing was like, we just don't want to do subtitles. So many of these new releases are foreign.
Mm-hmm.
But for good reason, because America wasn't making a lot of movies last year. We settled. Did you guys ever see The Windmill?
No.
So The Windmill is set in Denmark. And the very beginning, they're giving like these 3-4 minute character introductions. And at one point we were just laughing, going, how the hell are all these people coming together? You've got a girl who's like a nanny who gets discovered that she's using a fake name and bashes a vase over the father's head and runs away. You got some other dude at the red light district, pretty sure murdered a hooker. Just this weird cast of characters. Was he a doctor who's had a breakdown after somebody died on his operating table, so he's taking a sabbatical and trying his hand at art. Well, no spoiler here.
I was just going to guess.
Yes.
The windmill is a doorway to hell or something like that.
Well, they do all get on a tour bus to tour the windmills and the canals.
Is this like Donald Trump comes true and the windmill causes cancer?
Exactly like that. Inspired by. Well, they break down by a windmill that pops up out of nowhere, and then, people die one by one. This thing right there, this creature was actually pretty cool. He kind of reminded me of the Jeepers Creepers killer. The gore in here is pretty good when it happens, and there are some kills where you think, oh, well, maybe this person's going to get it, but then another person gets it like brutally out of nowhere. So for a couple of those, I was like, all right, that wasn't too bad. Acting isn't really bad. It looks kind of good. The CGI in the end is effing terrible. I mean, it's something they stole from the sci-fi cutting room floor. But who cares at that point? It was quick. It was kind of fun. I was like, I'm sitting there going, wow, this is a turd. But then the more it went on, the bloodier it got. We were both like, yeah, this movie wasn't too bad. So we were looking for the worst. We should have gone with Aqua Slash, but we went with the windmill instead. Like I said,
This was on my list. I never hit play on it.
We thought it was foreign too because it said it was like Norwegian. I was like, oh Jesus! And it's also made by the Chicken Soup for the Soul production company. I was like, well, how is this gonna go? Like,
Chicken Soup for the Soul is like headquartered like right here in Connecticut.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, that wasn't the movie. That was the Megan Fox movie. You might have missed it in the very beginning.
I did miss that.
It flashed up really quick and then it was gone. I was like, all right, let's see where this is gonna go.
I usually skip the opening credits, so I always miss stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it was kind of a cool little. What the hell are we in for?
Huh.
So save that for later, kids.
I watched They Live.
Never heard of it.
I don't remember how this came up. My in-laws were in last weekend, and something about the fight came up in conversation. And my father-in-law had never seen it, and I was like, "Well, hang on, let me pop this in. Let me show you something." And then he was like, "Well, now I want to watch it." I'm like, all right, I'm warning you, this is low, but like I typically show him like Christopher Nolan movies and stuff when he comes down. I don't
Mr.
show
Fancy.
him, low. Well, I don't know if I can show the next picture. We're gonna skip that quickly. So anyway, I'd warned him this is low budget. You might think it's cheesy, and he did think it was cheesy, but he still kind of liked it. This is such a fun movie. I mean, there are stretches where it's just okay. I had forgotten how political the conversation in the beginning is. It is just all anti-capitalist, the rich and greedy and blah, blah, blah. And it is so hilariously on the nose. But once you get through that with the Keith David, Roddy Piper discussions, and he gets into the church, it is just so much fun. It's cheesy as shit. Sometimes the effects don't work because the budget's not great, but damn, is this movie fun. It's almost like an old school 50s science fiction movie in a way, with the alien masks that are ridiculous and the black and white anytime he has the glasses on.
Yep.
But I love this. I watch this every couple years just because to me it's a classic. I know a lot of people love this movie, but the people who don't really don't like this.
They're jerks.
I dig it. It's fun. I mean, just these images with all the aliens. Just
Roddy Piper is so awesome in this movie.
He is, and he is enjoying all of the steroids. He is huge in this movie.
I remember when me and my friends saw this movie, when we came out, we were literally kicking the living shit out of each other in the parking lot. we were so inspired. Just start throwing.
This movie's great.
Meg Foster.
Meg Foster. Keith David is amazing in everything.
Yeah.
And I'm kicking myself for not getting my They Live poster signed by him when he was at Scares 2 years ago. But
he'll be back.
He's a nice dude too, actually. He was cool to talk to. So yeah, They Live. If somehow you have never seen this, what are you doing?
I love talking to like someone like the 20-somethings at our work, and just like something like the They Live fight scene. I'll be like, "Oh, have you ever seen They Live? Come here, let's just pop on the fight scene," and they just watch it like with their mouth open, like, "What the hell is this?"
Did any of them ever go, "Oh, they stole that from Family Guy with the chicken"?
The chicken always comes up.
They did it in what was it? South Park too. They had the two handicapped kids they like did a blow for blow remake of this fight.
Oh my god, with handicapped kids, Jesus.
Yeah,
I love South Park.
So, yeah, Chad, you haven't seen this since it came out, dude. You got to revisit it. I mean, it's so much fun.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Some of his lines are so preposterous. You're like, why would you ever say that?
Because he's a wrestler and he can say anything.
Awesome.
Well, because I had such a great time with Felissa Rose recently, I had to go back and watch a movie I'd never seen before. Victor Crowley from 2017.
Oh,
which is
good.
I saw Hatchet a long time ago and don't remember a whole lot about it. Never saw any of the sequels. So I just went into this knowing it was a horror comedy with Kane Hodder and Felissa Rose. And
What more do you need to know?
I have to say it was short. I don't even know how long it is. Like
Hour 23.
Yeah, that's short.
Really low budget. There's not a whole lot of locations in it.
Is this the one on the plane?
Yes.
Yeah. Q from Impractical Jokers was in this one, right?
So this guy Dave Sheridan, he's
Yeah.
really
Right.
funny in it. I don't know. He's like the guy who's supposed to have like a fishing boat or something like that. Very funny. Listen, I got a kick out of it. Felissa Rose is the agent of the guy who's going back. He's from the original movie and he's going back to the swamp for like a documentary or something. And
Yep.
she's his like New York agent. She's hilarious in it.
Her death is amazing.
Her death is amazing. It is just a low budget wink at the camera horror comedy, low budget, goofy movie that I enjoyed. Like I had a good time with it. Like I said, I've never seen it. I don't know what like would you guys recommend the Hatchet movies or not? I mean,
I think they're
it's
fun.
fun.
Yeah. They're just throwback slasher movies with insane kills.
are they as purposely funny as this one is?
Yeah, pretty much. There's
Yep.
one I really don't like, but I forget which one it is. This one was all right.
Yeah, I liked them all. I thought they were all pretty good. I actually think Tiffany Shepis, her death in this on the plane, like her acting is like really good. It's like almost out of place in this movie. It's like, what the hell?
You do it enough times.
Like you really killed that. Like, holy shit.
A lot of practice.
Yeah. Tiffany Shepis is great too. So anything Kane, Felissa, and Tiffany Shepis are in, instant watch.
Yep, definitely. Good pick, Jack.
I was very happy with it, and to see my friend on camera. You go,
Jesus,
Felissa.
you're going to play this up.
Good.
All right.
What do you got?
Well, Jack, you're going to like this. I'm going to talk about a book, but real quick, I picked up this comic book the other day. Elvira meets Vincent Price.
Oh, I've heard of that.
So it's from Image Comics, and I
Nice.
just started reading it. Got halfway through. It's very interesting. Cool artwork in here. So I assume at one point she's going to meet up with Vincent Price and they're going to do some hijinks together. So looking forward to that. But the real book I want to talk about is the guy who was sitting next to me at stairs to carry. He's this so-so writer, comes out with a book every now and then. I don't know if you know Jeff Strand.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, dude. Really? You read his book?
So everybody is buying like all his horror books. I'm like, I want to read his book about writing, the writing life, also known as Reflections, Recollections, and a Lot of Cursing. Jason, you would love this book because this isn't teaching about the craft of writing. It's basically him going through his career as a writer and all the ups and hysterical downs that have happened to him. I was laughing out loud through this entire book. And cringing because there were moments I was like, oh, God, that's happened to me. I just wish I would. Like, there was one thing he was talking about, you know, when you talk to somebody for a while at a horror con or whatever, and they've said their name 400 times. It's even on their badge. And when you go to sign their book, you can't think of what their name is. You know,
That would be me. I'm the worst with names.
industry secret. That's where you go. So how do you spell your name?
I have done that too many times.
But I also say it because I remember one time some guy said, my name is John. So I wrote John. He goes, oh, no, it's Joaghn. I'm like, really? Who the F would ever know this? Should have told me this before I wrote your name down. So I make
John,
it a point to
you're a
ask. So it helps when you're signing a book, not when you're in a social situation, sitting around drinking. So, hey, how do you spell your name, man? But yeah, this talks about his movie deals he's gotten, movie deals that have fallen apart, book deals that have fallen apart. He started as an ebook writer. It was like the president of this ebook association at the turn of the century. Some really funny stuff in there. And good lessons. You know, if you're a good writer, you can kind of find a way. Or, as Jeff also says, maybe you just fucking quit too. Whatever works for you.
You know, I could have kicked myself. I did not buy one of his books. I stood there and talked to him for how long? Several different times. I kept saying, save me this book. And he put one aside, and then I never went over and bought it.
Oh. See, we did a
Damn
book
it.
exchange, so now I, have to wait for one day where he looks at me like, hack, and moves on.
Yeah, we all do that to you.
Yep, you do. Y'all do. Screw y'all.
Screw y'all.
Whatever. I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. Now I'm mad. I'm shutting down.
Okay. Finally, this is what we can shut you up with. That makes me
Shutting down. I don't give a shit about you guys.
I watched American Occult, which is a show I have never heard of. It's only 3 episodes. It's on Discovery Plus.
I have that.
I just signed up for it because my wife loves anything to do with what's Joanna Gaines, her whole thing. So we were just flipping through. First of all, there's so much paranormal shit on Discovery Plus. It is insane.
Oh, yeah.
I was
that show
blown
that
away.
Hunter was on that channel, right?
That's why I subscribed, so I could actually see it. And now I'm watching everything.
You need to get me what episode that is so I can watch it. I never got to see it.
Oh, yeah. I'll send it over.
So I just saw this thing called American Occult, 3-part miniseries, and thought, oh, what the hell? This is just murder porn. It's like any other true crime show, except it's about ritualistic murders and things like that. The first half of the first episode, the description of what these dudes did in their ritualistic killings is horrifying. I can't even repeat it on YouTube because this shit will get taken down in a second.
Wow.
It is insane.
Jesus.
So if you ever want to know anything about ritualistic killings in America, of which, by the way, there are barely any, but they found them for this show, and it's crazy. So just a little 3-episode thing, totally worth listening to if you dig murder porn like me.
My wife will love that. Like, that's so up her alley.
The first 20 minutes, I was just listening to it. I wasn't even watching. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. These dudes are nasty.
Remember my wife was young and she used to like to threaten people. I'll give you a fucking Colombian necktie. It took like 4 times.
Wow.
I'm like, what is that? And then she explained. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that is not a pretty thing.
I need to
Typically
rethink
not
this.
something you want to threaten someone with.
No, I think she meant it too. I don't think it was a threat. I think it was a promise.
All right. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
That's the one where remember the like DVD cover for that, where it's like the ship with the skeleton face.
The skeletons.
That movie borrowed heavily from a 1980 movie called Death Ship that had like the same cover. There it is.
Oh, Jesus.
I've never heard of this. That is such a ripoff.
That's total theft.
Holy crap.
This movie has Richard Crenna and George Kennedy, amongst a few other people you might
Oh, my
recognize.
God. How have I not seen this?
Yeah.
It is total like a 70s, like this feels like one of those ones you'd be flicking around on a Saturday night and run into it on, like one of those channels that you get if the aerial was in the right position or something like that.
The aerial. Right now, most of the audience has just gone, what?
All right.
Michael Clark,
God
wherever
damn.
you are.
Like
you
for
know
me,
what
I
we're
got
talking
New York channels, but every once in a while you could get Hartford channels on the UHF. Anyway,
about. Well, actually, I bet you Chad Lutsky still has an aerial.
Yeah, right.
He looks like he does.
Still has rabbit ears.
Anyway, so this one is for the midnight, the old school midnight crew. They're on like a Poseidon Adventure kind of Titanic love boat kind of boat. And then out of nowhere, this big black World War II vessel like rams into them, and their boat sinks, and like 8 or 9 people, including the captain and some of the crew, happen to be the only survivors on a boat. And then a little while later, this rusty old thing pulls up and they get on. And it turns out it is a like ghost Nazi torture ship.
Of course.
I think I've seen this now that you mentioned the Nazis.
So George Kennedy is like the captain of the boat that sank. He gets possessed by like the demons on the board. There are some moments where like the ship kills people by like almost like the old cartoons, like the winch goes and then a lasso comes down and grabs somebody by the foot and things like that,
Right.
or other ghostly things. This is just a fun, I mean, it's a 1980 movie, but it's got all the 70s aesthetics for us. So if you're just looking for like an old school. It almost feels like a made for TV kind of thing.
Probably
Richard
was.
Crenna, Colonel Troutman from.
I would watch anything with George Kennedy in it. First of all, that's like a rule in my life. If Kennedy's in it, I'm in.
It's free on Prime, I believe.
Yes, it is.
This is a good like Saturday afternoon, pop it in and check it out kind of movie. I have fun with it. It's like I said, it's for the midnight horror crowd. Like if you like that kind of, who you are if you want to watch this kind of movie.
Yeah, really.
I can't believe I've never heard of it.
If you know what an Ariel is and George Kennedy, you're gonna dig this. Oh, those were the days, my friends. 5 whole fucking channels, and we were satisfied.
Right. Really, this is like, Channel 9, Channel 11 creature feature, midnight kind of movie.
Yep. Or Saturday afternoon, Channel 5, whatever.
This is definitely a Channel 5 Saturday afternoon kind of movie.
Yep. You had to endure like Heidi and Pippi Longstocking early, and then you get this. You're like, oh, thank God.
All right. Is that everything?
Good.
That's everything, man. I'm going to read Elvira. See you.
Let's get to the Megan Fox feature.
Oh, wait, yeah.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Do you think Megan Fox would make a perfect Elvira?
That's interesting.
She'd have to get breast implants, but I think she'd be all right.
Looks wise, maybe. Personality wise, I don't know.
Well, no. Well, maybe she has a goofy side.
She's snarky.
Yes.
But she doesn't have the, I don't know, disarming charm of Elvira.
She's so pretty.
Elvira, that woman is sharp. Like
she
shits on people so mercilessly at times. I'm like, God.
It's all that time in them burlesque shows and around those comedians and stuff.
All right, one of you recap this movie for us, please. Pretty simple one.
Yeah, Megan Fox is a stone cold fox, married to a very rich dude who is very controlling, to say the least. And she's having an affair, by the way, with somebody in the office. And it's her anniversary, so she calls off the affair, says, I can't do this anymore. And she goes out with creepy weirdo husband who takes her on a surprise visit to a lake house in winter and sets up all this romantic stuff that the whole time you're just going, what the hell? You were so tense through that thing. But, she wakes up the next morning and finds herself handcuffed to him, and he looks at her and blows his brains out. And there you go. And that's
pretty
the
cool
first one.
Hook for a movie.
8 minutes, right? Gets there pretty fast. I thought
quick. So. It might be more like 20. I don't know.
Was it? I don't know. I was just staring at Megan. Time stood still.
So what'd you think?
Me?
Yeah. What's your 5,000-foot view of this one?
I got to tell you, look, you said Megan Fox. I was in. I'm going to watch it no matter what. I don't care. I watched that Roar movie she did where she's the mercenary getting attacked by lions. And...
I started. I didn't finish it yet.
Oh, I finished
it.
Yeah. She's in battle fatigues the entire time, but it's amazing. So I figured if this is a little bit better than Roar, I won't feel like pouring bath salts in my ears. I actually enjoyed this movie. I thought the premise of being handcuffed to your husband who just blew his brains out in front of you, I thought that was really cool. And she's more than just a pretty face. She's got a really kind of checkered past. I kind of like what they did with that. But the situations that she was getting into, I did a lot of, I kept doing that stuff out loud. It got kind of cartoonish after a while. I know my wife is starting to check out, but I actually thought it was pretty
Your
good.
wife didn't like a new movie? Get out of here.
She so did not want me to mention this. She literally at this point, if she says anything, she goes, "Don't tell Jason."
I just assume she's going to hate whatever it is.
She did not hate this movie. She actually liked this movie. There was like a couple of aspects. She was like, all right, enough already. But I actually thought it was a fun movie, especially for an afternoon, just hanging out. I liked it.
How about you, Jason?
I completely agree with that. I
Wow.
did not expect to like this at all. When you guys said, "Oh, let's watch the new Megan Fox movie," the first thing in my head is, "Why? Like, why are we going to watch this?"
It was a good first instinct.
I was impressed with the writing and the pace of the movie. I thought it looked great. I was kind of in the whole time. There are a couple goofy parts where you're like, this is starting to stretch credibility a little bit here, but I actually really liked it. And the beginning was when they were setting up the character stuff. It's like, what is this performance she's doing? This is super flat, super flat. But
Yeah.
I think it lends to the movie as it goes on. But it was very flat. I was a little concerned, like, oh God, I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on here. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I was very impressed. I don't know if it's because I went in with such low expectations, if it's just the movie's done really well, but I enjoyed it.
Had the same concern where I was like, has she had so many fillers she can't express herself anymore? That was like an honest concern.
My wife said something 10 minutes and she's like, is she acting here or just like reading her line? Like it was
Is she on Xanax?
It was very flat.
But yeah, we find out later there's kind of a reason for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I also came in with low expectations and thought it was way better than I kind of thought it was going to be. However, I think I've learned to give Megan Fox the benefit of the doubt a little bit because Jennifer Body is great. She had a run on New Girl where she was pretty funny. So I know she's got a good sense of humor. And what I found was the first part of the movie before they get to the cabin, I was like, I don't know about this. Once they kind of got to the cabin and things start happening and some other people show up, the snarky Megan Fox kind of showed up too.
Right.
And I liked that. She had a couple of like little like off the cuff statements or stuff she said that just had that like dry sense of humor that I like, that I was like, okay, there it is. I'm starting to have fun with this. And I don't know, there's a Home Alone Die Hard kind of thing going on to this that you were like, this is either going to be totally ridiculous or it's going to be, good enough to be fun. And that's what it was. It was fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be so easy to just tear this thing apart. And I was looking for it. The claws were out and I was ready. But I was like, oh shit, I'm enjoying this. Because Jason, you're right. It looks really good. It's well shot.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
there were so many kind of twists and turns, and I was like, damn, I'm into, like, it never slowed down. Like once he shot himself, it was nonstop to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, and they did the writing, they thought they did a good job. There weren't a lot of moments where people were explaining shit to each other that they should already know so that we, the audience, can kind of figure out what's going on. I thought there was just a what the hell is happening? Why is this happening? How do I get out of it? That I thought they just dropped little hints about the relationship, what was going on that made him do this, without maybe finding out information that would be utterly impossible for her to learn in the house.
Right.
And so I thought the writing aspect in that regard was really well done.
And if you have a wife, ask her how long you think she'd would take her to like get anywhere in the house handcuffed to your dead body. Because at one point my wife was like, oh, she's doing this and I would do that. I'm like, you'd still be on the bed.
Yeah. There's a point where she's going up the stairs. I'm like, I don't think I could do this. Like,
yeah.
I did see somebody, I don't know if it was on Twitter somewhere, it was like, this whole movie is ridiculous because all you'd have to do is break the thumb of the dead body and you could get the handcuff off in a second.
Oh, that's it.
Like,
huh?
It's like, well, that's no fun.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, what would happen if Diamond Dave did this? His poor wife.
Oh, I'd have grabbed that gun and tried to shoot myself right away.
Oh my God. How the dead bodies release gases throughout the hours? Forget that body.
If you want to know who Diamond Dave is, watch the new episodes of So Bad It's Good.
Yeah.
He's the new co-host for a while.
Funny dude.
There were a few moments where I could see like the budget. There was some wintertime special effects where like, they painted part of the deck white to look, or
some of the snow didn't look super real.
Some of the snow, and you didn't always see her breath.
Yeah, that was kind of hit or miss.
And there's a little CG, but at the same time, I'm like, well, this is kind of a low budget Megan Fox Die Hard movie, so it's not taking away. It's fine. Like it didn't bother me that much.
Yeah. I appreciated the hell out of her getting around obstacles by being smart, not necessarily because she's just kicking the shit out of giant dudes, which can happen a lot of times in movies like this, where it's like, really? She's like 5 feet tall. How the hell could she possibly? And this was just, a lot of it was just her being smart and on her toes.
She does take a beating, though.
She does. Which
it's kind of brutal.
I like for my main characters to get the shit kicked out of them in a thriller. So I appreciate that.
She was born in Tennessee. I didn't know that. She's a Southern girl. You learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys seem to know a lot more about Megan Fox than I do. I don't know anything about her. Is she always in good shape? Not just like she looks pretty, but like she has muscles? Because
yes,
her legs are pretty built in this, and I wondered if she's always like that, or she did it because she knew she was gonna be dragging a dude around on the set.
I've never seen her not like that. I mean, I wasn't there for the baby showers and stuff and the birthday parties when she wasn't doing much, but
your invite got lost in the mail.
We had an out, but we're back. We're okay. But on film, I've never seen her look anything.
I've never seen a picture of Megan Fox where she wasn't in great shape.
Like as soon as she started dragging that dude, I was like, oh yeah, she's in good shape.
The first time I saw her, I thought this is Elizabeth Taylor for this generation. I mean, because she's got that look about her. And then she disappeared because, you know, she was pre-Harvey Weinstein, and she was like, well, fuck these people. I don't want to work with these. If these kind of predators are in the industry. It's
interesting if you listen to, like, especially interviews about Jennifer's body and how much she went through, you know, for being the pretty face. Like, she had kind of a little bit of a tough run there for a while.
Yeah. So kudos for her for coming back.
This feels like the kind of thing that could be a relaunch like point. You know, not that it's a huge movie, but I could see people with bigger budgeted movies looking at this and saying, "Hey, she could carry something."
Look, they've already seen her in Rogue. They know. They're knocking at the door. Rogue, yeah. I said Roar. It's Rogue.
Oh. Yeah, I saw the poster for that and I was like, no.
Dude, it's on Hulu. Just give it like 20 minutes of your time. You'd be like, what the hell?
That's what the super CG tigers, right?
Oh my God. Like parts of the tiger are see-through. Like it's incredible.
Yeah, I didn't have the time to devote the attention to it that I could. So it's like some other time.
No, that's definitely a diverted attention kind of thing just to have on while you're concentrating on something else.
I was going to fall asleep. It was like one of those long day.
Yeah, no, be awake, but engaged at something.
All right. Ready for spoilers? We all kind of would recommend. This is a good, it's only a couple of bucks to rent when it comes to streaming. I would definitely check it out.
Yeah.
It was like $19 before. I don't think I would have paid $19 to watch.
What? No,
that's a lot.
First came out. That's too much for that. But now you're looking for something on a Friday night. Giddy up.
Great. Or a rainy day, like it's raining here right now. I think I'm going to put it on again.
All right. Spoilers. A couple of bad guys show up and terrorize her, as well as her, the guy she was cheating with shows up, and he bites it. Any thoughts on the bad guy? So if there was anything that was like that would never happen, it's the one bad guy always turns on the other bad guy, and in this one it happened again. But I thought they did a pretty good job of why he was turning on him a little bit. So
I think you had to, with it being 2 versus 1. Like there's just and she's chained to this body. Like there's just 0% chance she's gonna win that. So yeah, predictable, but well done.
Yeah, we knew he was coming. They telegraphed that.
They telegraphed the hell out of that.
What's in the trailer?
A worse filmmaker, because the guy, she had taken his eye out when he stabbed her and was trying to kill her. So a lesser filmmaker, when they finally show that guy's face and he's got a fake eye, would have done like a quick overlay of like, his eye being out, just to say, that's the guy. Yeah. Just so you know, he looks a little different. He's got 2 eyes, but I'm so glad they didn't do that.
For sure. I thought she gave an excellent speech when her lover guy shows up, and he's not wanting to call the police. And she's like, he did this, and this to me. You think he didn't call you to come here as part of whatever fucked up plan he has? And he's like, okay, you're right. I'll call the police. I thought that was great.
Yes, that was snarky Megan Fox at her best.
Yeah.
And that's when she changed. Stuff. Like before that, anything she had said was to her husband, which was just this kind of like dead.
There's a moment in the restaurant where she sees a girl in the bathroom and she tries to comfort her.
Oh my God.
That's where I was like, oh boy, where's this?
She doesn't comfort her. She shits on her parade. The girl just got engaged and she gives her a whole thing about, well, it's probably not going to last. It's like, what a bitch.
We need to talk about the restaurant scene. That's why my name is this. She gets him Super Bowl tickets because the Steelers might make it. And he goes, they're 4-12. They're not making it. Whoever wrote this, you son of a bitch, the Steelers haven't been 4-12 in my life. All right.
I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, is this an alternate universe thing?
They haven't had a losing season since 2003. Okay. I don't want to hear that shit.
This might have been
unrealistic.
This might have been a predictor for 2021.
Premonition.
If they are 4-12, no, they'd have to be 4-13 this year.
Yeah.
All right. We have to make a note of that.
I will come on here and publicly apologize, but it's not going to happen.
Is Roethlisberger coming back?
I think this movie sucks.
Hunter, I'm not gonna give away one of the movies I'm going to talk about next week. But the thing you said about a lesser movie would have done the thing with the you the guy with thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the movies I'm going to talk about next week does that exact thing. So hopefully we remember to revisit that point.
Yeah, I was dreading that. I did like the fact that her tormentor, his partner was his brother. I kind of like the fact that they made them related, which when he turned on him, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, you're a son of a bitch. Threatening to kill your literally much littler brother. And then I can understand why then the little brother's kind of sticking up for himself. Like, he's like, how dare you do that? I'm like, fuck you, you tried to kill me twice already, dude. And you look like you meant it.
Also, the fact that the brother didn't want things to escalate as far as they did. He was like, what the hell are you doing? That wasn't the plan. Like, what? That made me like roll with it. Like, because sometimes you have these movies and they just turn on each other because they need to turn on each other. I thought they did enough. They did enough here for me to buy it.
From the moment they showed up, there was tension about how they were going to handle things and what was going to happen. So yeah, it was done well. One of my favorite just little moments in this is when she gets into the car and drags his body up in there, which good luck doing that. When you're her size. But she turns the car on and the CD starts to play and he's talking on the CD and it sounds like it's coming from the body and she turns and I was like, what the hell is happening? That was such a good little edit and the way that was shot. I love that.
Yeah, that was good. And the fact that the car immediately died.
Yeah.
I was like, he just left just enough gas. Boy, what a son of a bitch. He planned every moment of her torture out to the last possible detail.
I did like the way she used the car and the alarm and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Yeah. They set up a lot of different stuff. I should look up who wrote this. Definitely spent some time thinking through, okay, she gets the car keys, but the car won't start. How do I use that later to her advantage? The one thing she has in her pocket. There was a lot going on there. The writer was Jason Carvey. Well done. And director S.K. Dale.
I wonder if he's Dana Carvey's kid.
Isn't that special?
I will tell you that steel necklace that her husband gave her at the dinner, for some reason, I thought something about that necklace would be her key to get away. Not realizing that, oh no, he's put the diamonds in the necklace and given the dude a saw to cut her head off.
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah, that was vicious.
That was a nice touch. I really like that. Looks like this is Jason Carvey's first writing credit, at least in a long time.
Good for you, Jason.
Second movie, and then looks like you've had something to do with the TV series 15 years ago. So well done. And I believe this is the director's debut as well, at least for a feature.
I love it when you get like that. People, first time or early on, just cracking it out.
Yeah,
I do kind of crack up anytime a movie has people falling into icy water and then successfully climbing out, like, and not just being totally frozen and shell shocked. Like when people slide into the water like that, they never actually get out.
So that's my biggest complaint with the movie is she is impervious to the cold. Like it doesn't bother her at all. You're walking out in the snow in your bare feet, you are going to be fucked up very quickly.
Yeah.
And you don't go in and put on some sneakers and you're okay. Like you are hurting.
It's adrenaline. It's all adrenaline. We did say when she came out of the water, I said, well, at least that stab wound's not going to hurt anymore because she probably can't feel a thing.
Yeah, when she comes out of the water, she just kind of like lays there. I'm like, nah. Your body's curling in on itself.
If you remember from Jennifer's body, she emits heat, so
this is true.
It's true. What was I thinking?
For a moment, I'm like, you know what? Good for you. Good for the balls on you guys because she's going to die. Like, if they just pulled away from the ice field and that's the end of the movie, I would have been like, that's cool.
That's dark.
But you can't do that, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, really, that was my biggest complaint was just, boy, she is A-okay with this cold.
Well, that and the bad guy, he could take a shot to the head and recover uber quickly. Golf clubs.
Don't bother him.
No, not at all. Like, at one point, my wife goes, is he Michael Myers? What kind of movie is this?
I think that we've lived through like the 90s video store era. So we rented so many movies that had climaxes like this with people who should have been hurt way more and were impervious to the elements. So that we're just kind of like, that's par for the course in a movie like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I didn't care. That's when my wife started getting a little like, all right, is he ever going to die? Like he's dragging her. Like that shot when he's chained to the dead guy and he's dragging her down in the water. That was a really nice looking shot.
Yeah, it was.
And when she poked out that other eye, it's like, enjoy being blind as you go to the dark depths, you fucker. Loved it.
The direction was great through that whole last fight because the progression of the knife through the climax the whole way into the water was super well done. You know where it is the whole time. It's being used at different moments, and it goes the whole way into the water where she can use it. That was super well done.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I really wanted to tear this movie apart and be like, ha ha ha, isn't it more fun to review movies that suck? And God, we were wrong. We were wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope I'm not like talking it up a ton and people are going to watch this and be like, the fuck, like this is fine. Because I did like it.
They're going to murder us.
But
they're going to murder us, but I don't care.
I really did not expect this to be good.
No. So I'm down.
It's a pleasant surprise.
Let me see. Her next movie is called Big Gold Brick. And then Naya, Legend of the Golden Dolphin. She's a voice. That's a cartoon. And Aurora is in pre-production. So we got a ways to wait. But maybe she can become a regular on Final Guys. She might be thrilled. She might come on because she's so excited about it.
Pretty sure after your intro, that probably won't happen.
I just wanted to date her. I thought she was coming here. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Her hair is almost as nice as Tim's.
Almost. I think it's
almost. Nice. Got to give Tim some credit.
Tim is all extensions.
All right. So that's it for Till Death. We don't know what we're doing next week as usual. So we'll figure it out during the week and get back to you. Anything else before we get out of here? Look, we're getting out here early. We could watch a movie before we go to bed.
Holy crap. This is all. I'm going to watch that occult thing.
American Occult. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm flipping on Discovery Plus. Thank you, my man.
Send me a text when you get to what the first the first guy, how he was killing women, what he was doing.
All right, I will.
It's insane.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll figure something out next week. Right.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Thanks, for everybody who downloads the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And catch you next week, everybody.
Deuces.